All right? Stay with me now. All right? Grab a seat. Let's go. Chop, chop. No more talking. I don't care what you're doing. All right? All I want you to do, though, is to listen carefully. All right? Question number 1. It says, find the slope of the line parallel to each given line. You're not even writing an equation. It's just writing an answer. So, for example, number 1, you would simply say the slope of the parallel line would have to be what?
2.
Everybody.
2.
2. Slope of the parallel line would have to be what? 4. Slope of the parallel line. Now you got to do some mental math here. It's not in the right format. Slope is 1. Very good. Now keep in mind, all I had to do was take the -1, right? Or the -1y and move it over. The only thing I care about is the number in front of the x. Everybody good on that?
Yeah.
So because the y moved over, the 1 is the slope. Speak up if you're not sure. All right, number 7, slope of the parallel line is obviously what? Everybody, -7. Now remember, I had a little argument with my last class about telling me when you don't understand something. If you're not sure why the slope is -7, put your hand up. Because it's not in the right form. Y equals mx plus b. So you've got to put it in the right format. So in order to put it in the right format, you have to take the 7 and move it over to the right side. When I take the 7 and move it over to the right side, it becomes -7x. So it would be y equals -7x minus 2. And now you're with me, right? The number in front of the x is -7. All right? Just because I want to check your mental math, I want everybody to take a look at number 8, even though I said I was doing the odds. I would like everybody to do that mentally. The slope of the parallel line. You should be able to look at that. You should be able to look at that and tell me that the slope is -3/4. You are amazing. -3/4. Anybody have any issues with that? You're solving it for y equals. All right, y equals. Very good. You're moving the 3, which makes it negative. Then you're dividing by 4. -3/4. Everybody should know that. Yes, ma'am.
Does it matter if you divide first? Or you have to
It actually doesn't matter. You're correct. But generally, we say to work backwards, you get rid of addition and subtraction first. All right. Now, over to number 9. I need someone who's especially thinking about this. Find the slope of the line perpendicular to each given line. Number 9. Kate, what do you think? -1.
-1/3.
-1/3. -1/3. What?
-1/3.
Wow. You guys,
0.
you are amazing. Of course. 0. Tell them why.
X equals 3 would be undefined, and the opposite of undefined is 0.
Very nice. Smarty pants up here. Smarty pants up here. Listen, pay attention, please. Look, he's 100% correct, but I'm going to explain it better for you now. X equals 3, and I would make a note so you can, practice putting it into your brain. X equals 3 is a what type of line? It's a vertical line. So what's perpendicular to a vertical line? A horizontal line is perpendicular to a vertical line. So what's the slope of the green line? 0. Very good. And he actually said something smart, all right, which was, if you take the reciprocal of 0, you get undefined. And if you take the reciprocal of undefined, you get what? 0. Now, why is that? Because 0 could be written as 0/1, right? And if I take the reciprocal of that, you would get 1/0, which is, we all know, undefined. Is everybody happy with that explanation? Very good work. All right. Again, nice problem there. Nice problem. All right. So now, slope of the perpendicular. Everybody should know this one. 3. Uh-oh. Now we got to practice our mental math. All right. Please practice your mental math with me. All right. Number 13. I want everybody to say the slope of that line is what?
1/3.
Is 1/3. The slope of that line is 1/3. Practice that, please. You're isolating the y value. Does everybody have any question about being slope is 1/3? Now, the answer, though, is what is the slope of the perpendicular? Say it. Come on, guys. -3. We should all say it together. -3. Anybody have any doubts about that, right? All right, here we go. Practice. Slope is equal to, the slope of that line is, come on. Uh-oh. Negative what? I'm thinking it's -1/2. Yes. Come on now. I'm moving the x over. When I move the x over, it becomes what? -x, right?
Yeah.
Which is -1. And then you divide it by 2. -1 divided by 2 is -1/2. Everybody happy? All right. So then you would say the slope of the perpendicular is equal to what? Is everybody happy? Slope of the perpendicular would be 2. Any objections? Any problems? All right, here we go. 17. All right. If I'm parallel to x equals 0, x equals 0 is what type of line? Vertical. Come on, say with me. It goes through the x-axis, so it's vertical. So if I'm going to be parallel to a vertical line, I must be a what type of line? Vertical line. So that equation would just be what? Nope. That would be if it was horizontal. X equals 2. The answer is x equals 2. What's the matter?
Why is it
What do you want it to be? Well, look right here. Do you see this line? X equals 0. So that would be a vertical line. Do you agree with me? It's really simple. Very simple. Do you agree with that, right? So if I'm going to be parallel, I must be what? Vertical also, right? So every vertical line has to be x equals. Well, what's the x coordinate that it goes through? Oh, yeah. Now look, guys, honestly, though, that's kind of tricky. So you need to really focus and concentrate on what I just said. Make sure you understand it. Anybody have any objections? Anybody have any questions? All right. So now, all right, 19. You should be able to just tell me what the answer is. Uh-oh.
Well, the directions say right in point slope form.
Exactly.
So it would just be x equals 2.
Exactly.
Okay. Oh, that makes sense.
All right. Now, what about 19, though? Who's going to volunteer for that? Uh-oh. Let's see what you got.
1 minus 4 equals 9/2 x minus 3.
Guys, that's simple now. Anybody have any issues? That's how it should be. We should just be zipping through these problems. All right? All right, someone tell me about number 21. Who wants to volunteer for that? Thank you. Go.
Y minus 3 equals 7/5 times x minus 2.
Right. We're still writing in point slope form, so we're in good shape. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. If I'm parallel to x equals 0, now that you paid attention,
4.
no. Somebody else want to help her? Not just 4. Not just 4. X equals 4. All right. Uh-oh. That was x equals 4. Right? The equation of a line requires that x, y, or x and y. Walker, are you with me?
Kind of.
Kind of. I'm not sure if I like that word kind of.
So we're not writing the y minus
Right, because it's a special case. Remember that now? Anytime you have a vertical or horizontal, it's always x equals or y equals. All right? Here we go. 25. All right, so you got to think about it first. All right, first tell me what the slope of the perpendicular is. So hold on a minute, right up here. The slope of that line is what? 1. So the slope of the perpendicular would be? Exactly. All right, now some people have issues with that. And the reason why you're making a mistake is because you didn't solve for y first, correct?
Oh.
You have to solve for y first. So this problem is really y equals x plus 1. Do you agree?
Yeah.
Which now means the number in front is 1, so the slope is 1. So now I have the slope of the perpendicular, the negative reciprocal is -1, right? Now finish off the equation for me.
Y plus 5 equals -1 in parentheses x.
Easy as that. Simple, simple, simple. All right? Now let's talk about 27. Ingalls, what's the slope of 27?
So, just the regular slope?
Yeah?
The regular slope is 5.
Wrong. Shh. Let her figure out her mistake.
Oh!
It is what?
It's -5.
Thank you, girl. It's -5. Perfect. -5. So now when I ask you the slope of the perpendicular, you can tell me it is?
5 over 1 over 5.
Good. 1/5. So now the equation, I'm listening patiently.
It is y minus 2 equals 1/5 times x minus 5.
How easy, guys. Happy days. Good job. All right, 29. Now listen, again, guys, hopefully you're following my lead here. I suggest write down the slope of the original unless it's the parallel, right? Because we know parallel just means the same slope. All right? So now I'm going on to perpendicular now for 29. So I'm saying slope of 29, what's the slope of that line? Come on, boys. Let the girls do all the work today. Tell me. Yes, 4. So then we would say the slope of the perpendicular would be? Good job. Beautiful. Now tell me what the equation is.
Y minus 2 equals -1/4. In parentheses, x minus 4.
We are amazing. All right?
How come if the y-intercept is 0, then it isn't the y equals 4?
I'm not sure which one are we talking about here?
Oh, wait, no.
You sure you're okay, girl?
I figured that you could still stay at something.
You with me on this or not?
Yes.
Okay, good. All right, so let's take a look now at 31. All right. Everybody, the slope is equal to what? 1/3. Is everybody happy with that being 1/3? Therefore, the slope of the perpendicular would be?
-3.
All right, that's better, guys. Slope is -3. So my equation.
Y plus 2 equals -3 times x minus 2.
Wow. Wow. In unison. That was pretty good. All right. Well coordinated machine here. All right. Now, the question is, though, listen, again, I'm trying to tell you guys, I don't want you to be shy sitting there going, you're not sure about something. Is everybody 100% sure about this? That's
Yes.
easy, easy, easy. Now, on the test, we're just going to do point slope and slope intercept. I'm not going to put in the standard form, except maybe for an extra credit question.
Yay.
All right? So, does anybody have any questions about these problems? What?
When's the test?
Friday. All right, so let's take a look now at 33. Now the question, slope-intercept, make sure you remind yourself y equals mx plus b. So you're just going to write it in that form, y equals mx plus b. But first, we're going to put it in what? Point slope, and then we're going to convert it over to slope-intercept. All right, is everybody with me? All right, so if it's parallel, what is the slope of the parallel?
-2.
Perfect. The slope of the parallel is -2. Casey, tell me what the equation would be then. 33. I didn't think you were listening.
So it would be y plus 3 equals -2 in parentheses x minus 4.
Beautiful. All right, now we're not done, right?
We're not done.
Right?
Yeah.
So what do I have to do? Distribute. Go ahead.
-2x plus 8,
And then,
and then 3 minus 8 is 5.
perfect. All right, does anybody have any issues with that?
Nope. Zippo.
Any issues? Walker?
I'm just looking at the problem.
Wait.
But no, I'm okay.
You're okay?
Yes.
All right, here we go. So for question 35, let me shrink this down a little bit, get it out of the way. All right, so 35, the slope of the parallel would be what? -4/3, and it's passing through the point -3, 1. Tyler, go ahead.
So the slope is -4/3. So y plus 3 equals
Why what?
y plus
Why what?
oh. Hey, are we doing slope?
Point slope form. It'd be helpful if you put the y in for y.
Y minus 1
There we go.
equals -4/3 x plus 3.
All right. Now let's see how you can do fractions. So now what?
So then we cross out the x with 3. So then 3y.
Whoa, 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 look up, look up, look up. No, we're not putting it in standard form, buddy. We're just writing it in slope-intercept, which is y equals mx plus b. You hear me? So all I did was I distributed -4/3. And now I'm going to add 1. So your final answer is?
Y equals -4/3 x
Because 4 minus 1 is 3, right? Is everybody okay with that? Any questions? Any questions? Any questions?
Nope.
All right. Again, writing it in the right format's important. All right. So now for 37, the slope of the parallel would be what?
-1/2.
And it passes through -4, -1. All right, Zoe, go.
Ooh, okay. Okay, so it would be y plus 1 equals -1/2 times x plus 4. And then y plus 1 equals -1/2 x, give me a second, 2, minus 2.
You're amazing.
Minus 2. And then y equals -1/2 x, and then minus 3.
Amazing.
Oh,
Is everybody good with that?
Yes.
Fan.
All right. Let's check out now, please. 39. All right. So again, the slope of the line on 39 is what? Well, it's kind of the same problem, actually. Slope of the parallel line is -1/2, and it passes through -2, -1. All right, who's going to be brave?
I can't.
Good, go.
The slope is 1/2, so it's y plus 1 equals -1/2 x plus 2.
You're awesome. Finish it off now.
Okay, so then it's y plus 1 equals -1/2 x plus -1.
Final answer.
And y equals 1/2 x.
What?
Oh, -1 -2.
You with me? And don't forget the negative. I can't remember if you said -1/2. All right, so y equals -1/2 x minus 2. Everybody feeling good about that, guys?
Yes, sir.
All right, here we go. I'm going to put that in. All right, so now we're doing, 41, perpendicular. All right, so right underneath that, the slope of that line is what? Be careful. Daniel.
The slope is 1.
Careful. Isn't it -1, Daniel?
I thought because you subtracted the x, you put
The slope of the perpendicular is what, Daniel? You were just not answering the right question. That's all.
You were answering. You were right. You were just answering the perpendicular.
I said, what's the slope of this line, Daniel? So you're good. You're good, buddy. I didn't realize. So is everybody happy with that? Slope of the perpendicular is 1, and it's going through the point 4, 3. So Daniel, go ahead.
1 minus 3 equals -1. Oh, sorry, 1
Good.
x minus 4.
Beautiful. Finish it off.
Y equals 1x minus 1.
You're awesome. Perfect. Alrighty. What about if we're perpendicular to x equals 3? Or I'm sorry, x equals 0. X equals 0 is the what axis? The vertical, which is the y-axis, right? So if I'm going to be perpendicular to that, I'm going to have to be what? Horizontal. I'm going to have to be horizontal. And horizontal is always
Zero.
no.
No, that's vertical, guys.
It's the y, which in this case the answer would be what? Y equals 2. Come on now, think about this, guys. If you're perpendicular to x equals 0, x equals 0 is a vertical line. So if you're perpendicular to vertical, you have to be horizontal. Horizontal is y equals. Y equals what? In this case, whatever the y value is. The y value is 2. All right, vertical is undefined. You can't ski down a vertical mountain. All right, that's how I tried to remember it. All right, 45, here we go. What is the slope of 45? What's the slope of that line?
So regular slope
Is
1.
1. Perfect. So the slope of the perpendicular would be? -1. All right, go ahead, write the equation now.
So the equation is, well, it goes to the point -2 on the 5, but it is y minus 5 equals -1 times x plus 2.
You're awesome. Go ahead, finish it up.
So you distribute the slope, which is y minus 5 equals -1x minus 2. Sorry. And then so y equals x, or y equals negative x plus 3.
Good job, girl. Doesn't matter. Okay. Negative x plus 3. All right, anybody have any issues with that? All right, let's take a look at 47. So for number 47, the slope of that line, practice your mental math, is what? What's this?
Oh, it's 2.
1/2, I think. Double check yourself now.
Oh,
The slope is 1/2 because you're moving the negative x to make it positive x, and you're dividing by 2. Does everybody agree with that? So now when I ask you for the slope of the perpendicular, you should be able to tell me it's just what? Negative 2, and it passes through 4 comma negative 3. So go ahead.
Y plus 3 equals negative 2 x minus 4.
Amazing. Keep going.
Okay, so that would be y plus 3 equals negative 2x minus 8. No, positive 8.
Positive 8.
And then y equals negative 2x plus 5.
Nice work. Is everybody happy with that?
Yes.
All right. Now, on the next page, there's just another 48 questions. Someone actually thought there was another 48 problems.
Answers.
Those are the 48 what?
Answers.
Answers. Now look, guys, you're checking your work. That's what you're doing. All right, we did the odds. That didn't take us that long. All right, so now zip through and do the what? Evens. Get that taken care of right away. Some of the kids got all but 3 problems done by the end of class.
No, there's 2 ways in there.